Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. It is your girl, Simone Nicole, back at it again with another video. And today's video is going to be a spooky, okay, I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna get into my spooky mode. Today's video is going to be a spooky story time in honor of Halloween. I think it'll be a couple days before Halloween by the time that you guys see this. Before we get into the story time, of course, our subscriber shout out of the day. So today's subscriber shout out of the day is going to go to Miss Miriam. She commented on my updated natural hair favorites video, and she said, "It's my second video and I absolutely love it here. You are extremely gorgeous and helpful." Thank you so much, Miriam. I appreciate you so very much for coming to my channel and for spending some time with me and for leaving some positivity. With so much negativity in the world, I really appreciate when you guys are sweet and you leave constructive and positive and sweet comments for me and other people within this space that we have created. It's just really a beautiful thing. And if you would like to be my subscriber shout out in my next video, then make sure you are one, subscribed, and two, you are commenting on my videos, you are spreading some love, some light, some positivity, and maybe you could be my next subscriber shout out. And with all that being said, let's get into this spooky story time. So we have 3 story times to talk about today. All 3 are very true and all 3 happened to me. These story times have happened in different parts of my life, and they have been so short that I couldn't sit down and make a full video about it. So I figured that I will put all 3 of them into this one video. This first story takes place when I was in high school. I was either 14 or 15 years old. I was laying in my bed and I was taking a nap and I got a call and it woke me up out of my sleep. It was from a number I didn't recognize, but I decided to answer anyways. Literally don't know why. And I'm not somebody that gets woken up out of my sleep very easily by things like that. I answered the phone and it was a gentleman on the other line, and he said that he was calling with Cosmo and that he just had a couple of questions for me. Being young and impressionable and not knowing any better, I was like, oh, I mean, Cosmo magazine, everyone knows what Cosmo is. So, you know, I was like, sure, I'll answer whatever questions. The questions started out innocently enough. This was at this point almost 10 years ago, so I don't remember exactly what he led up with, but I imagine it was more so things like, so have you been in a relationship before? And I answered yes. And he said, okay, so what was your longest relationship? I told him about a year. And then he asked, were you in a heterosexual relationship or a homosexual relationship? And I answered heterosexual. And then it started heading into more inappropriate territories. He then asked me if during that relationship I was sexually active. And I answered yes, because I have always been this person. I'm actually very open with like my sexuality, my sexual experiences. Like, I don't think that type of stuff is a really big deal. Like, if you know me in real life, I will sit around and have a conversation about that type of stuff in a heartbeat. So he's asking me, have I had sex before? And I told him yes. And at the beginning of the conversation, he asked me for my age. At this point, I think I was 15 years old. I wasn't yet 16, but I was definitely past 14. So I think during this conversation I was 15. So I told him that. So he knows that I'm underage. So he goes on to ask, okay, so when you had sex, how was the first time? Like, was your last boyfriend the person you lost your virginity to? I said yes. And these are all building up to gradually getting more inappropriate. And he knew what he was doing. Everybody knows that Cosmo focuses heavily on women and sex and sexual things. And me being 15, I just wanted to be, you know, cool and be a part of that, of being womanly and all of those things. So I was trying to like be game and play along. I told him that I had lost my virginity to my boyfriend, and he starts to ask, okay, so what's your favorite position? And I was like, I and then he started to name positions. He was like, but at no point did he ever sound like, what's your favorite position? It was all like, okay, so you've had sex with your boyfriend. Great. Next question. So did you guys do missionary? Okay, 1 for missionary. Alrighty. Did you guys 69? All right, 1 for, like, it was like that. So I was just kind of thrown off because he was so professional in his pervertedness. He had asked me, had I ever done 69? Had I ever done cowgirl? And then he asked me, had I ever done reverse cowgirl? And I, similar to what I've expressed in the past, I might not have concrete evidence, but I just got these skeevies and I hung up the phone. I remember I screenshotted the number that he called from. I think he may have called, he either called twice from a private number or he called from a number that like you could call back, but I'm almost sure he had called me twice from a private number. It was just a really weird experience, very creepy. I just didn't really know what to do with that experience. So I'm gonna throw it in the pile of creepy.
Hey y'all, editing Simone here. So sorry about the noise in the background. They're like leaf blowing or something. I just wanted to say, like, in editing this footage, I want to make sure that you guys understand that I was 15 years old. So as a 24-year-old, I can see how inappropriate this entire conversation was, and I would never entertain something like that now. But I was a baby, and if you have ever been that age and grown out of it, you know that you did a bunch of stuff that now looking back on it seems crazy. And then 2, I remember, and I forgot to say in the story, that I actually Googled to see if it was normal to get cold calls from Cosmo. And the first thing that popped up when I Googled was like this article, like in all caps, that was like, anytime you receive a call from someone claiming to be from Cosmo, it is a scam and you should hang up immediately. So yeah, I never clarified that. This definitely was not a call from Cosmo and he was just doing his job and I just so happened to be young. No, this was not someone from Cosmo because they do not gather their research in this way.
I never heard from him again. I just knew that during that conversation, I was extremely uncomfortable and I didn't like where it was heading to. And so that's why I hung up. I don't know. Make of it what you will. Let me know your thoughts on this story down below. And we're going to move on to the next story. This story takes place when I was in the 8th grade. So that would have been when I was 12 or 13 years old. At this time, I was not yet going to the school district that I would graduate from. I was living in a different neighborhood and we had a townhouse. I remember I was in my room and there was a little gas station literally right next door to my house. So I decided that, you know what, I want a little chip. I want a little chippy chip. So I gathered up my little 13-year-old coins, and I did not have my keys. I don't remember why I didn't have my house keys, but we always had a spare key that was always outside of the door so that we could use it to get into the house if we needed it. It might not have been that I didn't have the keys. I think I just didn't grab them because I knew I was going to be there and back. I grabbed my literal coin pouch and I leave the house, lock the door behind me, and at this time it's dark outside. This is very important. It is dark outside. Now the walk to get there would take me maybe 30 seconds. Like, no lie, it was that close. I cross across the driveway into the complex and then I just go right to the gas station. I'm inside, I pick out the things that I want and I feel a man staring at me. I look over my shoulder like subtly and he is staring me down. He was an older man, probably like in his 40s, I would say, and I was 12 or 13. I know when someone is making me uncomfortable, and he was making me uncomfortable. I paid for the little things that I got and he was behind me in line, so in theory he would have had to pay for his stuff and then wait to be checked out. So I thought that I had time to get back to my house without any worries. Okay, I leave the gas station and I'm putting a push on it because he has made me uncomfortable. He's been staring at me. I just want to get home. So I leave the gas station. And remember I said it takes about 30 seconds for me to get home. and my mother was not home. Nobody was home when this was happening. I walk out of the gas station. I keep on feeling like someone is following me, so I look over my shoulder. He has left the gas station. He was following me home. I am walking even faster, and I get to my door. We had a screen door, and keep in mind I had this extra key that I had to get to. So I got to the lockbox, and at this point I looked over my shoulder this way and I could see him across the street. It's not a big complex. I would have recognized him had he lived near me. He was following me 100%. He is literally, I'm not kidding, and I will never forget this as long as I live. He is across the street from me, and it's not like a inner way, like a main street. It is when you come into an apartment complex and there is just pavement in between you guys. So if he just started running, he would have got to me within 5 seconds. That's how close he was. I'm fumbling with the key and he's literally making his way towards me. I get the key out. I take the lockbox in with me. I close the screen door. I lock the door and I run upstairs to my room. So I get down on the ground and I'm trying to be as quiet and as silent as possible. And I'm starting to calm down. And all of a sudden, I hear pounding, knocking on my door. At this point, I am losing my mind. I am terrified, because if this man has the audacity to walk up to my door and pound and knock on my door, what else is he willing to do? And I am 12, 13 years old, completely by myself, alone at night in this townhouse. So I call my mom. She doesn't answer the phone. I wait, and the pounding continues on the front door. I don't even want to go downstairs to even see if it's him. I don't even want to peek my head over to look out of my window, because my window looked down onto the front door. Didn't even want to do that, because it was like, I know he saw me walk into my house, but I just really did not want to confront this man and for him to see me in my house. I stayed low for a while, and I finally managed to make my way out and to get downstairs, and I get a call, and I'm like jumping at this point because the phone starts ringing and I'm like on edge, and I answer the phone, and girl, it is my friend. She's like, girl, where is you at, girl? I said, what do you mean where I'm at? She's like, I'm at your door. I've been knocking this entire time. So while that is very much so like well, at least it was her knocking, I was still creeped out, because it does not change the fact that that man 110% followed me home. Also, her life was in danger, because she was sitting here completely unsuspecting that this man was watching my house for God knows how long, and then she just walked up innocently trying to come and hang out and trying to get me to answer the door. Something could happen to her. It was just this whole thing. And I asked her, like, was that you knocking the entire time? And she was like, yeah, it was me knocking the entire time. He never came up to my door and knocked on it, but he definitely followed me home. And I'm really blessed and lucky that I am able to sit here and tell this story. It was absolutely petrifying in the moment, and I'm really happy to say that no one got hurt in that situation. We saving the best for last, okay? This happened to me, I don't know how many months ago, but it was recent. I am laying in my bed watching YouTube as always, and my mom comes into my room and she has the phone on speaker. And I hear this little girl's voice over the phone, and I'm like, who is she on the phone with? Because she sounded like a little white girl, and we don't know any little white girls. I was very confused, and my mom was more so annoyed. She was like, why is this little girl playing on my phone? So she put the little girl on mute, and she was just talking and talking and talking. And my mom was talking to me, and she was like, can you please talk to her and get her off my phone, because she woke me up out of my sleep. She keeps on calling me, and she keeps on trying to talk. Can you please tell her that she has the wrong number? So I take the phone from her, and I'm like, hi, sweetie. Who do you think you're calling? And I forget the name that she said, but she said, like, I'm looking for so-and-so. And we were like, well, that person doesn't live here. Like, we don't know that person. You have the wrong number. And she's like, wait, but hold on. I just want to, and she kept on coming up with reasons to talk. I asked her, sweetie, where is your mom and dad? And she said, no lie, this is so crazy.
Mommy's in the ground.
I literally just got chills. And I was like, and I said, okay, well, where's daddy? And she was like,
Daddy's in the bathroom.
and I was like, okay, so can I speak to daddy? And she freaked out. She's like, no, you can't speak to daddy, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, whose phone are you calling on, sweetheart? And she was like,
I'm calling on my dad's phone.
and at this point, things are starting to get weird. So I actually recorded the entire conversation. I will insert that footage right here.
Okay, your mommy, I'm confused though. You said your mommy was in the ground and she likes to collect stuff. So who's taking care of you now?
My dad.
Okay, so where's your daddy?
On the couch.
Well, how did you get this number, Miss Catherine?
It was on his phone on his recents.
It was on his phone in his recents. What's your daddy's name?
David.
David? What's his last name? Huh. Well, this is my mom's phone. I don't think they know each other.
I think they do.
Well, why do you think they know each other?
I hear them talking about like a person, like usually like a lot of times.
You hear them?
Usually hear them sometimes.
Okay. Well, Catherine, it's 11:25. I think it's past your bedtime.
My bedtime is usually around like 12:30 basically.
Well, how old are you again?
I'm 5, nearly 6.
You're nearly 6. So you're out of school right now, right?
Yeah. And mommy and daddy are wrestling.
I thought that mommy was in the ground.
She died out and came back home.
She came out and came back home.
Yeah, she went digging for rocks, like crystals.
Oh, okay. Well, Miss Catherine, can I speak to your daddy?
He's in the bathroom right now. Yeah, he had to go pee, I think.
Okay, well, when he comes out of the bathroom, can I speak to him?
Yeah.
Okay. So your mommy is also home.
Yeah, she's upstairs right now.
Well, let me just speak to your mommy.
I don't think mommy wants to talk right now.
Okay. Well, is your daddy still in the bathroom?
Yeah, I think he's pooping.
Oh.
It's been a long time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Where did you say you lived again, Catherine?
We're in. Okay, my dad is coming.
Okay, yeah, let me speak to him.
Hi, this is her dad.
I'm gonna hang up now, okay? Why are you crying? What? Well, you don't have to go to bed, but I do have to get off the phone now.
What?
I do have to get off the phone now, but you don't have to go to bed.
Why do you have to get off the phone?
Because I think that our conversation is over now.
I found weird frosting on the couch and I ate it.
Okay, Catherine, have a good night, okay? Bye.
Girl, are you stressed out? Because I'm stressed out. I still don't know what to do with this to this day. Was this a prank call? Was this little girl dead serious? Was she in actual trouble, or was she just playing on someone's phone? Or was it an adult that was using a child, like a voice changing thing? Because she was saying things that were way too adult like she was saying things that an adult would understand is inappropriate but a child would not, and she said it too often for me to feel like it was just an accident. Let me know your theories down below, but girl, you cannot deny that that was not creepy as hell. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of today's creepy story time. Anything that you have to say, any comments that you might want to make sure that you leave them down below. I hope that you all have a safe and happy Halloween this year. I hope that you guys were entertained by today's story time, and let me know your thoughts on the stories that I told today. Remember to keep positivity in your life, because positivity breeds positivity, and we have absolutely no time for negativity in 2020. I will see you guys in my next video.